Hey, everybody. While she's sitting here trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to do this and how we're going to frame this and cinematography and all that good stuff, we're Sherry and Brian, of course. In one of our other videos, we talked about how we met and how we got married within 6 weeks. Well, exactly in 6 weeks from the day we met. And so today, Sherry's going to do the bulk of telling you our story. And I'm going to interject from time to time when she leaves out some little detail or she says something that I don't quite agree with. And there's a couple of places, and you'll see that. And this will probably be a series of videos because I think the whole story is going to take more than 10 minutes because she's a woman and women tell stories with lots of details, naturally. My version is like 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 27 seconds or so, something like that. So, Sherry, take it away.
Hi, everybody. So, I don't,
She's not ready.
I'm not ready. All right. So, back in the,
February?
back in February.
No, that wasn't February. It was February of 2019.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
February 2019.
See,
I'm
what
gonna
had happened
edit
was
this out.
No, we're not gonna edit this out.
No,
What
we
happened
are.
was one day, a friend of mine who was working in Center City, Philadelphia, like I was at work, and it was snowing outside, and I had driven into work that day, and so I called her, and I said, "You know what? Would you like a ride home because the weather's getting pretty nasty out there?" She said, "I really appreciate that. Thank you." So when I picked her up and got in the car, she asked me if I had was I going to put myself back out there because I had told her about past relationships that were bad and everything, and I was single at the time and stuff like that. And I said, I'm not a real social guy. I don't go out and stuff like that, so it's going to be really hard for me to find somebody. So I haven't really given much thought to it. And she said, "You know what? Let me see something." And she started scrolling through her phone, and I'm driving, so I'm not really paying attention. And she shows me a picture. She said, "How about her?" And the picture was of Sherry. And I saw that picture and I said, she's cute. Why don't you make that happen? Make that connection happen. And she said, "Okay, cool." Now, Sherry.
She said, okay, cool. But then, like, the next day came and she hadn't gotten back to you, right?
That's correct.
And so he was a little bit thirsty. Kidding. He wasn't thirsty at all. He contacted her and was like, yo, did you get in touch with Shorty? And
Shorty? Shorty?
He didn't talk like that. He
I
didn't say
know,
that.
like Shorty.
He probably said, hey, did you get in touch with her to see if, she's
Did
seeing
you
anybody?
contact your friend? Did you reach out to your friend? I
Yeah.
think is what I probably said because I'm proper with things. So did you happen to reach out to your friend?
And she had not. So she was like, well, let me do it now. Now, this was the next night, right? I am a creature of habit. And I'm kind of like in bed at like the same time every day. I had just gotten in from being out late, which was like, stop it. What?
She was at the club.
I was at a bar, actually, for a party for my nephew. Okay? I wasn't just...
Pour it up.
Yeah.
Let it all ball out.
Anyway, I was at the bar. It was loud, and I just don't go in environments like that. So I was kind of cranky when I got home, and it was late. And I was like, so that was a Saturday night, and I was going to go to church the next day. So I was just kind of getting ready for bed. I went into my bedroom, and I heard my phone buzz, and I could tell that it was like a Facebook Messenger message, and it was somebody that I went to high school with. Brian has said that I can't use anybody's name.
Well,
I know, because they may not want their names on the internet, and then you'll be contacting them saying, "Can you hook me up too?" You know what I mean? So
yeah, we don't want that.
So anyway, it was somebody that I had gone to school with.
It's a mutual
previously.
friend.
It's a mutual
and,
friend.
And we didn't realize it was a mutual friend, and the way that I met this mutual friend was actually interesting. And maybe I'll put a video up about that too at some point.
Right. So it was her. And, we were friends on Facebook, of course, but like we hadn't talked to each other in years. But Facebook kind of like gives you the illusion that you're involved in people's lives. Like you see their pictures and you may like them. You're like, oh, little Johnny's having a birthday party, stuff like that. So I don't know. Okay. Some little kid.
All right.
Little Raheem. I don't know.
Raheem? Raheem.
Anyway.
Toby.
So I said, oh, what does Keisha Palmer want today?
Keisha Palmer?
I'm making up a name.
Why can't you just say she?
Okay, she. What is
Okay, go ahead, babe.
what does she want?
Yeah, what you want?
So anyway, it was a note saying, "Hey girl, we haven't talked in a long time, but I have a friend who saw your picture, and he'd like to know if you're, seeing anybody or whatever." And I'm like, "Wow, that's interesting." And I asked her like these series of questions, like, well, who is he? And the one of the questions I asked her was, "How come you don't want him?" Because as far as I knew, she wasn't like seeing anybody according to the internet, from what you can see. And I'm like, "So how come you don't want him?" Like, women don't just be giving up good dudes like that. She was actually kind of seeing someone at the time, I think, maybe, but whatever. She assured me.
She and I were just friends.
Right, and they were just friends.
Yeah.
And she assured me that he was a really great guy, and it was getting late. And when it gets late, I get either cranky or very serious, or silly rather, cranky or silly. So it was getting to the point where I was about to get cranky. So what I said to her was, I was just like, "You know what? Go ahead, give him, tell him to contact me, whatever." And then about a half hour later, I get a message in my inbox from this guy saying, "Hi," what did I call her? Keisha. Keisha.
Your friend told me I could hit you up.
He didn't say that.
So I'm trying to see what it do.
He said, "Keisha said I should contact you." And then, like, I'm not really good at introductions, but sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I ain't got no game. I ain't never had no game, okay? I'm the biggest nerd in the world. There's no game, okay? None.
So what I heard on the inside in my crankiness, what I heard from his message was, "Keisha said contact you. Here I am." And in my mind, I'm like, so I gotta carry the whole conversation? Like, what the heck? It was right then and there. Right then and there. So you gotta know the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because he be knowing stuff. He sees the end from the beginning, right? And he told me, this is how he talked to me, y'all. He said, hold on. He said, "Get your life together." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I will indeed get my life together."
What she doesn't know is that he already told me, just put yourself out there, I'll do the rest. So I just put myself out there and let him carry it. And he got in her face and was just like, respond to the man.
Right.
Okay? Don't have an attitude.
Right.
Everybody likes an attitude.
Yeah, because I was getting cranky. So,
Yeah.
So he had to, the Lord had to
miss your blessing.
I was. The Lord had to, and that's why it's important, like I said, to know the Lord and have a relationship
And listen.
And listen, exactly. Because here's the thing: what I didn't know then, that I began to know weeks later, not weeks, but whatever, is that
Days.
days. Is that his primary love language is words of affirmation. So if I had responded in the snarky way that I would have responded, we wouldn't be here right now.
I was like, oh, she stank. Never mind. Nope.
So the Lord got me all together. And I did a nice response. I was like, "Oh, we're having our first interaction. Like, I'd say you're good at introductions or whatever." And then we started talking from there. Typing from there. We had a really, really great, like, introductory kind of conversation. Mm-hmm. We didn't, like, talk for long, maybe like an hour or so.
Yeah,
would you
it seems
say?
like that, yeah.
And then I was like, "Yo, all right, I'm going to church tomorrow, so I got to go to bed." So I said, maybe we can talk tomorrow, which we did. So the next day, I friended him. He must have had his phone in his hand, or maybe he was, in fact, thirsty.
This is one of the places where I interject. I was actually on my phone on Facebook at the time she sent me the friend request. So it immediately gave me a notification. And I said, oh, it's her. So I accepted. She's acting like I did a 360 and leapt through the living room to my bedroom to get to my phone like, oh my God, it's her. No.
He was thirsty.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so we started, like, chatting again. And we did that for, like, how many days? Like 3 or 4 days? Like our whole interaction was through writing, which was good because it